tips of her fingers, but that wasn't good enough to pull her up.
Use the ladder. That's why I had it built,
her mother called from the screened porch of their home. Christy backed up from the tree and eyed the ladder that went up the tree's trunk to the treehouse nestled in the branches.
No, ladders are for wimps. Watch this, Mommy.
Sharon came outside onto the patio and leaned back against the stucco of her huge home. She was dressed in a business suit and high heels, and her short hair rustled in the wind that was a little too cool even for February in St. Clair, Florida. The little girl got a running start and leaped high to grab onto the branch. She swung for a moment, then flipped until her feet came up between her arms. She wrapped her legs over the branch and hung upside down, looking at her mother as her face slowly turned crimson and her hair flopped beneath her.
See, I told you I could reach.
Sharon watched as her daughter righted herself and began climbing farther up. She tried not to be nervous as Christy reached the treehouse and took the last step to the top of the ladder that went into the entrance hole at the center of the treehouse's floor. When she was satisfied that her daughter was safely inside, Sharon called up.
I have to go in and finish some paperwork, honey. I'll leave the window open so I can hear you.
Smiling, Sharon went back inside the house and looked through the front windows for any sign of her 16-year-old, Jenny. Sharon had told her to come straight home from school to babysit Christy so that Sharon could make it to the closing of the house on Lewis Street. She went into her study and made some necessary revisions on her paperwork, frequently glancing out her open window to keep an eye on Christy. Then she loaded the papers into her briefcase, took it into the den, and set it in a chair next to a small table covered with framed pictures in a variety of sizes and shapes. The pictures told part of the story of their family. Sharon and her two daughters graced the table in elegant frames, their faces representing different ages and eras of their lives. The girl's father was conspicuously absent in the pictures on this table. But upstairs in the children's private domain, one could find the whole story. Sharon and the two girls, Jenny and Christy, and their father and his new wife, Anne, and the two young children that new family had produced. She heard a car pull into the driveway and rushed to the kitchen to look out the window. Jenny got out of her little car and headed for the door. Sharon could see by the look on Jenny's face that something was wrong.
Sorry I'm late. I had a note on my windshield from a friend in trouble, and I had to go help.
That's okay. I'm not late yet.
Sharon rushed back into the den and grabbed her briefcase, then returned to the kitchen. Her daughter had not yet kicked off her shoes and gone to the refrigerator, her usual routine upon arriving home, which meant that something was on her mind. Jenny plopped into a chair.
Something wrong?
Oh, Mom, it's just awful. This friend of mine is in trouble, and I really need to get back there. I can take Christy with me. It's just, I have to go, Mom. They're in such a mess.
Sharon set her briefcase down and stood next to Jenny, pulling her close.
Honey, tell me, who needs you?
Mom, these friends of mine, they're married and have these precious little kids. And yesterday, he got fired from his job for no reason at all. And to make matters worse, they got evicted from their house, and last night they spent the night in their car, their whole family. They didn't have any money, so they ate food that people had thrown away behind a fast food restaurant.
That's awful. Who are they? Someone you know from church?
No, not from church. They're friends from West Haven.
West Haven was an artsy area on the west side of St. Clair. It was an area where Ben lived, Sharon's ex-husband, and Jenny and Christy's father. Since her children had an entire life in West Haven on alternate weekends that she knew little about, the explanation didn't surprise her.
Mom, can you picture those little kids sleeping in the back seat of their car? It's not fair.
Sharon's own eyes began to well.
No, it's not. Where are they now? Can you get in touch with them?
Yes, I know where they are.
Jenny looked up at her.
Then go get them and bring them back here. At least we can give them a place to sleep and some food until they get on their feet. We have plenty of room.
Jenny hesitated.
Mom, are you sure?
Of course. When I bought this house, I promised myself that I'd never turn away anyone in need. I would never deliberately let some poor family sleep out on the street when we have 5 bedrooms. Besides, it wouldn't be the first time we've taken somebody in.
But you don't even know who they are.
It doesn't matter who they are. They're welcome here.
A tentative smile broke through Jenny's tears.
What are you waiting for? Go get them. My closing won't take long. I'll hurry home, change the sheets in the guest rooms, and cook something nice for supper. Don't worry about Christy. I'll take her with me.
But Jenny kept sitting there, staring, as if she had something else to say, but didn't quite know how to say it.
Mom, there's one more thing you should know. This family, it's Dad and Ann and the kids.
Sharon felt the blood draining from her face. Slowly she turned to face her daughter.
Is this a joke, Jenny?
Jenny didn't look amused. Tears filled her eyes again, and she wiped her face as it reddened.
It's no joke, Mom. Mr. Dubose fired Daddy yesterday, just out of the blue. Daddy was living in the apartment provided by the gallery, and Mr. Dubose told him to get out last night. They had no place to go, and Mr. Dubose refused to give Daddy his last paycheck, or the paintings he still had in the studio.
And your father didn't have any savings, any money in his wallet?
Jenny closed her eyes.
Mom, you know Daddy's never been good with money. He's an artist, not a banker. The gallery took care of things for him so he could paint.
Well, what did he do to get fired?
Nothing. He has no idea what happened.
Right. Just like he had no idea how Anne got pregnant while he was still married to me. Life is a big mystery to your father.
Mom!
Sharon leaned over the kitchen table, angry at herself for breaking her cardinal rule not to put Ben down in front of his children. She let out a ragged sigh.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Jenny sank down into a chair.
Mom, you offered to let them stay here. You said it didn't matter who it was.
That was before I knew it was them. You lied to me, Jenny. You set me up.
I did not lie. I just didn't tell you who they were. I knew you would refuse to help if you knew, and I wanted you to see how hypocritical that is.
Your father lost his job and his home, and now I'm a hypocrite? How do you figure that?
Because you'd help anyone else. Doing unto the least of these is great, unless the least of these is Daddy.
Jenny, you can't be serious. It's crazy to think that I, of all people, would take him in with that woman who destroyed my family and those children that she loves to flaunt in my face.
Mom, I've seen you spend entire weekends working at shelters with winos and runaways. I've seen you go to prisons and teach Bible classes to inmates. If you do it for them, why not for my father?
One very good reason. Because he brought every bit of this on himself. He's irresponsible, and it's catching up with him.
But Emily and Bobby are my sister and brother, Mom, whether you like it or not. And if they were in the same predicament and didn't belong to Daddy, you'd be one of the first people to help them. Please, Mom, won't you let them stay here just for a few days? We have all this room, and they have nothing.
The thought of inviting the man who had cheated on her and betrayed her, not to mention the woman who had wrecked their marriage, to sleep in her home was repulsive. It had taken Sharon 5 years to lose the pain, to learn not to grieve each time the kids went to spend their alternate weekends with their father. Yes, she had grown beyond the misery, but this...
They cannot stay here, Jenny. You can put a guilt trip on me for this if you want to and blame me for everything and convince yourself that this is all my fault, but I can't take that man and that woman in my house. It's too much to ask.
Mom, what are they going to do? This is my father and my family, and I love them. Little Bobby's getting sick, and there they are, out in their car, and it's cold, and...
Bobby's sick? What's the matter with him?
Christy stood in the doorway. Jenny seized the moment to get her sister involved.
He doesn't have a place to live. Neither did Daddy or Ann or Emily. And we have this huge house, but Mom won't let them stay here.
Why can't they stay here, Mommy?
Because.
Sharon glared at Jenny for dragging the child into this.
Jenny, you're not playing fair.
Mom, how would you feel if your father were out on the street? I know you hate Daddy and Ann, but think about the kids. Emily hasn't had a bath in 2 days. She hasn't slept in a bed. She hasn't eaten a full meal. Mom, she's only 5 years old. She shouldn't have to face this. And the baby just cries all the time. They need to take him to the doctor, but they don't have any money. Mom...